Hello everybody, welcome to your weekly sneaker news recap video with me, Jordan Young. Hello. Got some pretty cool sneaker stories to talk about this week. We've been seeing some friends and family versions of the ruby red slipper Wizard of Oz SBs turn up in some skate stores. Paris Fashion Week went down this past week, and there's been a whole bunch of new sneaker styles and silhouettes as well as collaborations that have been revealed. Some sad news with sneaker retailer Sneakers and Stuff declaring bankruptcy. And then on the opposite end of the financial spectrum, Ye is apparently a billionaire again. So let's just get straight into it. Right, so let's start things off by talking about these hyper rare Dorothy or Wizard of Oz ruby red slipper SB Dunk lows. You guys might have seen some images as well as some video content leaked out there online. From what I've been able to gather, basically what's happened is some skate stores have been receiving some delayed shipments of the Wizard of Oz SBs, and inside these late deliveries have been some sneaky pairs of these friends and family versions, which are basically just a take on the ruby red slipper. And so this was one of those types of sneakers that some people were guessing could be the reason for the whole blind bag thing in the first place. I mean, it made no sense initially that these sneakers would be blind bagged when, for all we knew at the time, there was only one version of the sneakers. But lo and behold, blind bag was on purpose, and it was meant to conceal, I suppose, these friends and family pairs, which are rumored to be, I've seen something in the region of like 50 pairs. I mean, I guess it's conjecture at this point, but these friends and family versions are selling for crazy money, or going for crazy money, 20 to 30K. And it's kind of interesting because some people were saying online where the story was, or how come this never was made known public. These are just creeping up now as people get their hands on them. And Nike actually commented on one of these posts the following. They said, "It's kind of cool when clowns don't leak the stories." And this is obviously a little bit of subtle shade being thrown at the early leakers or those sneaker accounts that tend to, I guess, take the fun out of these types of sneaker releases. You guys will remember Nike SB got into it a little bit with MasterChef Ian when he leaked some of the details as well as images around the Crenshaw SB Dunk. So this is really cool to see, man. The excitement that I've been seeing in the comment sections, as well as the excitement in David Bluetile's video and review, as well as the customer's reaction to the sneaker. I mean, it's a little bit like coming up on the lottery when you get this friends and family type pair. And so I guess what's going to happen now is a lot of people that maybe haven't opened their blind bags are going to be opening them very forthrightly. Maybe prices on the resale market for blind pairs could be jumping up a bit. I'm not sure. That's conjecture from my own point of view, but yeah, this was pretty cool to see. Right, so the other big news that we have been hearing this week is that the PlayStation Air Force Ones are not going to be dropping in 2025. And this isn't really much of a shock horror. When this story first dropped, everybody was reporting on it, but generally there's a chronology, or there is a timetable to these types of things. The initial rumors come out, and then they are or they're not corroborated. If they are corroborated, then we think the story's a little bit more trustworthy. If the story or the rumor just lingers and festers there without any type of confirmation, then generally speaking, it's going to become upended. Now, according to Sneaker Freaker Mag, they have said that according to Complex, these aren't going to be dropping until 2026. But then Brendan Dunn from Complex has turned up on Sneaker Freaker's post to say that they didn't say that. So I don't know who's got the right info. I don't know whether or not these have categorically been cancelled, or whether they have been postponed, or whether they will end up coming out. But if I'm being honest, I really don't think we need this retro. I don't think there's any real occasion or rhyme or reason to bring these back. I think it would be much more pertinent to bring out a different type of PlayStation Air Force One with an up-to-date PS5 or PS6 or whatever colorway on it. Bringing back these retros never really made sense to me. Right, so Sneakers and Stuff, the influential Swedish sneaker boutique, which was founded in 1999, declared or filed for bankruptcy this past week. Their co-founder Peter Jansson confirmed the news this past Tuesday morning on Instagram, following a Monday report from the Swedish outlet handel. Sorry about that pronunciation. At the moment, it seems like they are looking to find some new financiers. And so in addition to these recent tumultuous financial times, the company has also pointed to the wider clothing and footwear market being impacted by external factors such as high inflation, rising interest rates, and geopolitical unrest. So could this be RIP totally for sneakers and stuff? Let's wait and see. On the other end of the financial spectrum, you have Ye, who was this week reinstalled as a billionaire. And this is according to this company called Eaton Venture Services, who specialize in giving valuations of companies, individuals, brands. And they reckon that in 2025, Yeezy's net worth stands at $2.77 billion. And this is based on his music portfolio and his sole ownership of the Yeezy mark. And you can bet your bottom dollar Yeezy, or Ye, was very happy to receive this news. He posted it on his Instagram, accompanied with a lyric from the hit song Wait Till I Get My Money Right. Now you might be thinking, hang on a sec, Ye lost his deal in 2022 that was worth like $1.5 billion. He was taken off the Forbes list. What has he done since 2022 in wake of losing that deal to make all this money back? Well, in the past few years, it's claimed that he has been making some money from his stake in his ex-wife Kim Kardashian's brand Skims. He's also received earnings from new music, said to be worth around $90 million, which includes his own songs and those produced for other artists. Vultures 1, Vultures 2. For me, the math isn't overly mathing, but I'm not trying to hate, not trying to pocket watch. As far as I'm concerned, more power to Ye for getting back on the horse. What do you guys think? Right, so in terms of sneaker releases that went down this week, there was a couple of cool sneakers, man. The Kyrie anta hela style. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. These things sold out, man, and this is a pretty cool lifestyle sneaker featuring some really awesome Native American, I think, design motifs with the hela chief on the back, and they've got these sort of like tassels that are hanging off the side. You guys might remember as soon as Kyrie departed from Nike, he had this little custom sneaker that was made featuring the same type of design. But bro, these were popular, man. These have sold out. Radio. So Paris Fashion Week has been going down this past week, which means it's an opportunity for designers to showcase some of the hot stuff that they've got coming out. And there have been some really cool looking standout sneakers. I want to start off with this pair here. This is a pair of Adistar Cushion 3s in the jellyfish colorway. This is a collaboration between Pharrell as well as Adidas, and this shoe has had a lot of people talking this past week. It's simultaneously current and trendy and a little bit futuristic and then retro at the same time. So let's go through the design. So the model's general shape and design language is rooted in the Three Stripes archives, but the Pharrell Williams touch arrives via the materials used and direct callbacks to his story. You've got some plastic panels across the upper which resemble an exoskeleton and draws inspiration from the Adistar's line's original wind flow aesthetic. And then you've got this playful jellyfish wordmark lands on the top of the tongue and the insole. Sneakers off-white and orange color palettes keeps things light, hinting at a possible summer 2025 release. No firm release details nor any pricing info. There's some speculation that these might run around $180, but at least according to what I'm seeing online, the response to these has been really, really good. I spoke about these in the midweek sneaker news recap, but while we're talking about Pharrell, we can't not mention his recent collaboration with Louis Vuitton as well as Nigo on this sneaker here, the Soft Butters. We've been seeing some more images, and yeah, look, I mean, for me, I'm not really crazy about them. They are supposed to be drawing on Pharrell's own backstory as it relates to his love for both running sneakers and skate sneakers. There's a little bit of the board flip language in there, but they do very much resemble an oversized Cortez. We also saw the next J-Tips collab on the Jazz 9, which is in another really bright and colorful color palette. Some people aren't really into these J-Tips colorways because they're so bright, they're so wild, and they're so out there. This particular colorway takes some inspiration from some previous New Era hat collaborations that he's done, which draw on a Disney hat. Reception that I'm seeing out there is mixed, but I think when it comes to making some moves and doing a little bit of agitation and grabbing attention, J-Tips is definitely knocking it out the park at the moment with Saucony. And we also saw our first really good in-hand image of the upcoming New Balance Action Bronson collaboration on the 990 V6 in this Amazonia colorway, which is set to come out sometime in the spring, we are guessing. Good looking sneaker. There's also another colorway I think that might be joining these that we've seen some sneaky images of in the past here, which are posted here. So maybe this could be a little bit like his last 990 V6 collab, a jewel pack. And we have the final boss in gentrified foams. After the CDG foams, we've now got some runway versions here with this custom pair made by 424. These are pretty wild, man. These are pretty crazy. I feel like this is the type of sneaker that the fashion MFs or the people that are quite happy to pay 1,400 bucks for some kind of a Balenciaga sneaker would be chomping at the bit or frothing at the gash to get. The other sneaker to come out of Paris fashion this week was the Adidas Fear of God Athletics Trainer, which is a pretty cool looking sneaker. There's a couple of colorways that we have seen. This particular bone/charcoal colorway, I don't know, these aren't beating the Yeezy allegations. No specific release date info. All I'm seeing here is the summer pricing info. 250 bucks. That's to me a cop on sale. Right, before we get into some new looks as well as some retailer images of some exciting upcoming sneakers, we should just quickly talk about some of the updates that we've heard recently with regard to the stock numbers for some upcoming retros this year. You guys might have seen this post by Mr. Unloved Ones that came out earlier this week. I spoke about this in my other sneaker news video, so if you've already seen that video, you can skip ahead to the next chapter. But for those of you that haven't seen, I'll just quickly break it down here. Apparently the stock numbers for a lot of the big retros that most of us are really excited about this year are going to be low or lower than we're accustomed, according to the tweets. And so what we're taking away from that is that maybe these sneakers aren't going to be big fat GRs, meaning they might be a little bit harder to get. And the big question is, who really cares if they do decide to make a lot of these retros limited? From a Nike standpoint, you can totally understand why they would want to make a lot of this signature retro product a little bit more limited, because they need this stuff to sell out. They need Nikes to be seen to be cool again. The question is, for people like you and me, do we really even care if we miss out on a pair of these retros? In some cases, you almost feel like you're dodging a bullet because of how expensive the retail is and because of how bad the quality invariably is on these bigger GRs. So I'm in Mr. Selective mood. I'm in my comfy core moment. If I miss out on any of these big retros, I'm personally not too fussed. So I don't think we should be treating this as even bad news at all. These are coming out next month, and I feel like these are going to brick. These are going to be completely lost in the sauce of all of the other big releases, whether it's the black metallics or whether it's the breads or whether it's the black toes or the galaxy foams. These are going to fly under the radar, and I think for that reason they're going to brick. It is a nice colorway, do not get me wrong, but these are pretty boring, honestly. I have the UNC3s right there, you can see. I don't need a very similar looking pair. And even though they are based on a pretty cool aspect of Michael Jordan's career, namely his lucky shorts or his UNC shorts that he wore under his Bulls shorts for every game, we don't need a shoe pertaining to every single aspect of MJ's personality. I mean, for goodness sakes, I'm not that fussed about these. But if you don't have the UNC3s or maybe the True Blues, or you just feel like this is a clean colorway, don't get me wrong, it's a clean shoe, but it's a pass. We've had the official images for the black metallic 5s. This, I think for a lot of people, is a must-cop sneaker. For me, it's a bit of a must-cop sneaker because I had the metallic 5s, I think from around 2012 with the Jumpman on the back. Last time these came out with the Nike Air on the back in 2016. I missed out on these. I do like the black metallics. I think it's the best Jordan 5 colorway of all time. I think this is a pretty cool reimagining with the 3M piping along the leather cuts. That's pretty cool. They do look nice in these images. I think if there's one pair of 5s to have, these are them. But sneaker loafers are here to stay. I told you guys at the start of the year with my trend predictions for 2025, these things are only going to become more ubiquitous. Only more brands are going to start to pick up on them. And we've got another pair here from New Balance in the black metallic colorway. I'm not really that keen on these, but as I said, man, these things are popping off, and we're going to cover actually another brand. We might as well segue into them now. Hoka, who are doing the exact same thing. Check these ones out. These are the speed loafer, and they blend performance and style. I mean, what, do they think we're actually going to start running in these? Like, really? No, I don't know. They've got the big sort of platform, chunky sole. These are supposed to be coming out in the summer. I think they look fine. I mean, if you just look at the trend for what it is, they look fine. I'm not mad at them. In fact, if I was looking for a loafer shoe to go with a much more smart casual outfit, bro, I would pick up a pair of these for sure. Another one of my sneaker predictions for 2025 is this running sneaker trend, this performance running sneaker trend that has been popping off over the past couple of years. And my prediction is that these types of sneakers are going to be making their inroads into mainstream fashion as well as streetwear. And these types of collaborations are going to definitely help with that. So this particular model looks like it's built on the Deviate Nitro 3. You've got this nitro foam cushioned midsole that provides not only this really bold look, but also good looking comfort and responsiveness. And this mold features Banbury's signature thumbprint or fingerprints. And this colorway also looks pretty dope as well. No specific release information yet. I would imagine these would be coming out closer to the summertime. Some other new sneakers include the Kids of Immigrants Nike Air Max Sundr, which is coming out in this concrete sky colorway, summer 2025, same price points I'm thinking as the last pair. I mean, compared to the last couple of pairs, these look a little bit more boring, but maybe it's the images. Maybe once we get some better quality or more high-res images, I'll change my mind on them. I do like this collab. Speaking of collabs we've seen before, we're going to be seeing again the Samba Japan is going to be the next workhorse for Ronnie Faeg and Clarks. They're teaming up again. Similar to those Kids of Immigrants, we've only got this really crappy image to go off, so can't really speak too much here, but summer 2025 is the release date, $220 the retail. Keep you guys updated when I get some more info on these. First look at New Balance's collaboration with Joe Freshgoods on the 992. Now, quick little bit of history. A lot of people credit Joe Freshgoods' first 992 collaboration as being one of the seminal sneakers that helped usher in this wave of New Balance hype. And at least these, compared to those, aren't quite as striking. Still very nice. Good looking sneaker with some really good looking type materials. The advertising says the best 5-year run. The inspiration for the sneaker hasn't yet been divulged, but nice looking muted color palettes. They look like they would be the ideal sneaker to break in the summer with. First look at the Infinite Archives Air Jordan 17 Low. This model was one of those retros from last year that absolutely made an impact, and I feel like this model is going to be one of the hottest Jordans of the year this year, depending on what types of collabs and colorways we get. But yeah, the hype, I think it's there. $300 is the retail though. This colorway is looking dope. September 2025. We just have these semi-unclear images from some Paris Fashion Week shots. Had some on-foot looks at the BHM Black History Month Dunk Low, the Tourmaline colorway. These are coming out in February. Very bright, very vibrant, very out there, and pretty interesting actually in terms of the storytelling. These are supposedly telling the story of black cowboys, which is an often overlooked part of black American history, and is something that's gaining renewed attention in contemporary art and music. The iconic pair of Kobe Bryant sneakers, some Kobe 8s, are going up for auction on the Sotheby's websites, and these are the sneakers that he wore during that famous game where he tore his Achilles. These look absolutely pristine according to these images. They're expected to fetch something in the region of $600,000 to $800,000. So if you're interested in chucking a bid down, bro, Sotheby's. Right, so to finish things off, let's talk about some sneakers coming out this week you might want to keep your eyes peeled for. You have on the 25th the Rui Hachimura Jordan 1 Low Oatmeal. You can check out some nice images of these here. These look really, really clean. Also have on the 25th of Jan some more sneakers from the Dornbecker Freestyle collection. On the 31st, you have the Nike Air Tech Challenge 2 in the Racer Pink colorway. I'm thinking these aren't going to be quite as limited as the Hot Lava from last year, but let's wait and see. That's a clean colorway. And you also have the Travis Scott, the chocolate brown colorway. Resale price is already pretty low on the resale market, so they should be a pretty easy come up or a pretty low price to pay in the resale market if you need those. So those are the sneakers coming out this week. Nothing crazy. Might be keen to get the Air Tech Challenge 2s though. I quite like those. What about you? And that is it for this week's sneaker wrap. Thank you guys very much for taking the time to watch the video. Do me a favor and like the video before you bounce, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.